Hello everyone. Today I'm taking a look at this Recorder Wi-Fi L8. I'll just be calling this the L8 for short. It claims to have infrared night vision, 1080p, noise reduction, that's interesting, and you can read the rest of that. So inside the box you get manual, micro B cable, and the camera itself. Closer look at the camera. On this side you have your micro SD card slot, a reset switch, a night vision switch or infrared light switch, microphone. Here we have the lens, and this rotates, but it doesn't really seem to rotate all the way down. That doesn't seem intentional. That's nice. On this side you have an on-off switch, a video recording switch, and the microphone recording switch. And here are your notification LEDs. And on the front side, you have the actual clip. And finally, on the bottom, you have your micro B port. I'm assuming this clip is for like a breast pocket, but since my camera isn't folding all the way forward, it's gonna be staring towards the sky the entire time. That's not very useful. Using this device is very simple. To turn it on, you just flip the on-off switch. You'll get a blue LED, and I assume that after it blinks, it's in standby. If you flick the video switch upward, you'll start recording video. So it flashes however many times that was, and then I assume it's recording video right now. To save it, you will just move it to the save position. I believe that it is a floppy disk. It has saved. It's the same process to record an audio clip. You just push it toward the microphone. Now you can see that the red light is flashing, and now both lights are off. I assume it's recording audio right now. And again, you would push it down to save the audio. If you want to turn on your infrared lights while recording video, you just flip this switch, and there you go, the infrared lights are on. And if I flip them, they'll turn off. To enable Wi-Fi, you would flick both the video and the audio recording on, and now you can see that both lights are on. So on my phone's end, there's a Wi-Fi network called Action Cam, followed by a bunch of letters and numbers. This is locked, and the password is 123456778. Now once I'm connected to that, the app that this camera uses is called the Go Plus Cam Pro. You would select Sports DV camera. It needs access to your phone's permissions, obviously. And just like that, I should be inside a live preview. Hello? Why am I not inside the live preview? Anyway, you can see the controls that you are offered here. You have a video mode, you have a photo mode, auto white balance, I assume this is quality, so SD or HD. You can enable a full screen live preview. I don't know why it's not previewing. I assume this is quality, so this is low, mid, high, and over here is, again, SD or HD. Photo settings, I think this is burst photos, so you can take like 10 at a time. I don't know how you would take a photo on this thing. There's not exactly a photo button other than in the app. That's a timer. You can look at your files that are saved on the card. I don't have any so far. And finally, the settings. Resolution, cycle recording, whether or not audio is recording, exposure, image quality, white balance, motion detection. I'm not sure how that would work. This doesn't have any motion detecting sensors. Date stamp, button sound. I assume that's for the app, since there's no speaker on this thing. Screensaver, auto shutdown, language, and time calibration. Alright, it's a fairly simple app. I think the only benefit to using this is that you should get a live viewfinder. You should. I don't know why I'm not getting a live viewfinder. And you are able to take photos via the app and not on the actual device. When charging, the red light will flash rapidly, and when done, it will just be solid. On a full charge, I was able to get an hour and 20 minutes of continuous video. That's pretty good. Alright, I want to test out the noise reduction that they claim here. So I have here a speaker, and I'm just going to play some construction noise while recording some audio. I'm sure it's a bunch of nonsense though, so here's a basic test. Let's just do test 1 2 3. I am holding an L8. I'm sure it's a bunch of nonsense though, so here's a basic test. Let's just do test 1 2 3. I am holding an L8. Okay, maybe that was a little too intense. Let's try some air conditioning noise instead. Alright, test 1 2 3. I am holding an L8. Alright, test 1 2 3. I am holding an L8. That was a very unscientific test, but it really feels like it didn't cancel any noise at all, so I don't know what they're on about with noise reduction recording. This is me from the future speaking. I'm sick of this thing's nonsense. It just doesn't want to record video anymore. I don't know why. I've tried everything. SD card switch, fully drain the battery, spam the reset switch, even enter the app and reset all the settings there. Nothing has worked. It just doesn't want to record video anymore. The worst part is that there's no error indicator. If I switch it to video, the blue light will blink as normal, and hell, it will even come back on when I press save. Visually speaking, it looks like it's recorded just fine, but when I go back to the SD card later on, there will be no videos on the SD card at all. At this point, I'm done. The sample clips this time around will just be random clips that I've recorded. I don't think they'll be that good for demonstration purposes, but whatever, it'll have to do. So this clip is up first. You might think that the file is corrupted, but no, this camera just does this. Sometimes it might decide to snap back to normal, but it's completely up to the camera. This is reminding me of an unloaded texture in a video game, where certain objects are just completely bugged out. Oh yeah, I've reduced some of these clips by 5 decibels, otherwise they would drown out my commentary. So much for that noise reduction. Now, just like the SQ8, this camera is sensitive to infrared light, which means that in direct sunlight, colors are extremely distorted. Interestingly, it does handle the color blue well, though. I originally intended this to be like a backpack POV camera, but you combine no video stabilization with a narrow field of view, and you're gonna get this shaky mess as a result. Alright, here is a basic night vision test, and this is also an audio test. Now in front of me, it is completely pitch dark. The only lights that are on are the IR lights on this device. How visible is the table in front of me? How well can you see the items on the table? Obviously, in actual low light, this camera struggles. These sensors are just not made to handle these conditions. So, if it wasn't clear by now, I don't recommend this thing. At worst, it doesn't work. Most of the time, it's pretty buggy, and at best, it's like an SQ8, but now in an extremely large and bulky form factor. I think this is intended as a spy camera, but it kinda sucks at that. If you were to imagine this card as someone's pocket, at least with something like the pen camera, it resembles a pen. With this L8, what is this supposed to represent? It doesn't look like anything, and if anything, it stands out. The lens also doesn't fold all the way down, so what is the point? I don't know. Man, when the SQ8 first came out, at least 5 years ago at this point, I was so excited for what the future of these no-name generic cameras were. But every single one that I've looked at on this channel has been a complete dud. Even at best, I feel like they're only on par with the SQ8. I feel like I'm being sold the same fucking crap every time. Anyway, that's the video. You can like and subscribe if you want. I don't know.